Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of PDC Europe, welcome to our evening session on day 2. Here are the 2019 Gibraltar Darts Trophy. We begin by introducing to the stage a man looking to reach finals day of a Euro Tour event for the second time this season. He's our West and South European qualifier, Germany's Rosie Michael Rosenauer. We now introduce from England a 3-time European Tour champion and a winner of 12 PDC ranking titles. He's Ian Diamond White.
Yes, I did. You just go down and check out the show.
Hello and welcome back to Gibraltar for the Gibraltar Darts Trophy. It is the continuation of the second round. We've got 5 major champions on the way tonight, including Michael van Gerwen, the defending champion here in Gibraltar. We've got Mensur Suljovic, a former finalist. Peter Snakebite Wright, a man who's been playing some magnificent darts this year, as well as the likes of Glenn Durrant, Gerwyn Price and Joe Cullen, who's a winner on the European Tour this year. A man who's won a couple of Euro Tour titles this year is Diamond Ian White, who takes on Michael Rosenauer in the opening game of the evening. Now, the crowd have already started up. They are going to be very lively for Dyson Parodi's appearance against Peter Snakebite Wright this evening. We shall see how rowdy they get in this clash between Stokes' Ian White and Germany's Michael Rosenauer. White is the number 2 seed here, and he is playing, frankly, astonishing darts at the moment. Last weekend was one of the greatest displays we've ever seen on the Pro Tour.
Game on.
Didn't walk away with the title. Mensur Suljovic beat White in the final. But Ian White, make no mistake, is playing world-class stuff. Paul Nicholson's alongside me, Dan Dawson, in the commentary box.
80.
I hesitate to say there is only one winner in this game, Paul, because it's darts and anything can happen. But from what we have seen yesterday from Michael Rosenauer when he beat Anthony Lopez,
60.
and from what we've seen from Ian White all year, let alone last week, there is only one winner.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Good evening, everybody. And
95.
you have to say that because of the standard that Ian is playing right now. It's quite astonishing to me that he didn't win a title last weekend because of the way he played. But I think what Ian does best is
96.
he doesn't dwell on the titles that he doesn't win, and he doesn't waste energy on negativity. With the waving of the white towel last weekend to Mensur Suljovic, he just understood that he played a fabulous
60.
game of darts, and from a timing perspective, he was just out by a couple of darts here and there. That was it.
Yeah, just to clarify that, the waving of the white towel was something Ian White actually did after the final during the interview. In the final itself, he certainly did not do that, because he averaged 107, a flat 107, 107.0 against Mensur Suljovic. It went all 15 legs, and he was still beaten 8-7 in one of, without hyperbole, the greatest Pro Tour finals we have seen live streamed. It was incredible. And that followed a semi-final performance where he beat Steve West by 7 legs to 2 with an average of 115. If Michael van Gerwen had done this, people would be going absolutely berserk about it.
111.
He started a little slower in this one, just finding his range. He can still win the leg at this visit. Not anymore. And you can see that Rosenauer's got away with this one a little bit because Ian's first dart hasn't been perfect yet. You get the feeling he will definitely improve. Tops for Rosie.
48.
Can't afford to do that so early. If you get a chance, you're going to have to take it, Michael.
Well, is that the case? Or does Ian White give him a reprieve?
20.
He does give him a reprieve.
Michael, you require.
Well, his
20.
face told the story. His face was very similar to mine just there. Can't believe it didn't go in. Rosie gets in with a little flick off the flight. Takes the lead.
Second leg in to
and Ian White was on notice not to miss any more doubles. But the style of Rosie is something that we didn't get into last night. It's a little bit unconventional, a bit old school. Ian's is one of the most picture-perfect styles out there. It's so metronomic.
Well, look, you do coaching. You're very much a technician when it comes to darts throws. Ian White, I mean, it's like a
100
box fresh template for how to throw darts, isn't it?
It is. There's a definitive stopping point in front of the eye. You can see with there, he just points it forward. And I think it's that he focuses on, finding that muscle 100 point where he presses it forward, and everything else is organic after that. It just flows. But if you notice with Ian, it doesn't stop. It's a micro movement at the end, and everything is continuous movement. It's the same with Michael Rosenauer, but it just looks a bit different. He's got a different eye dominance, and he brings the dart towards the centre of his face.
Yeah, Michael Rosenauer, he's got, I mean, it's not quite as pronounced, but
97.
It's the old Bobby George thing where he's bringing it across his face. It almost looks like he's throwing across his face, and he does a bit. It looks a bit slingy.
77.
You've seen that already this weekend from the likes of Tony the Bear Newell, who does a similar thing. And this game is easier when everything is straight down the line, and that is straight down the line from Ian White.
140.
See all three darts in a straight line.
Yeah, he didn't go to the left side of the 60 there. He thought he could sneak it underneath the second dart, and more often than not, he does do that.
94, and you require 106.
Tell you what, though, Michael Rosenauer, the German veteran, is doing his very best to make my pronunciation that there is only one winner in this game look very foolish. Double 16 for the diamond. It's there.
On the second leg, Ian White. Third leg, Michael to
now, plenty people today who had trouble on double 16, but not Ian White.
Well, look, I just want to... People may not watch the Pro Tour stuff, and people may dismiss the Pro Tour
100.
stuff. But just look... Oh, we got some German fans in. Well, at least one. Two.
Oh, the guy at the front, I'm sure he's an American.
I think it's his missus who's American. I think he's British.
Oh, that's Mike. Mike Yates, that's
yeah,
right.
That's, yeah.
I do apologise, Mike.
But, yeah, we've got Pro Tour stuff going on all year. Right, and it is a good indication of who's playing well. It doesn't always translate to big stage stuff, doesn't always translate to the Euro Tours, but it's not a bad indication. Now, Ian White, on Sunday in Barnsley, he averaged 107 in the final, he averaged 115 in the semis. He played 5 games to get to that stage. 3 of those averages were 104.
100.
And the other 2 were 98.5 and 99.5. Now, to play that consistently over the entire day, that's not a lucky day. That is not a fluke. There's not a bad game
60.
in there. This man is unreal. He genuinely is. He can do big things. It just hasn't happened on stage.
Do you think that will go down in history right now as the greatest performance by a dart player on a Pro Tour day without the win?
I mean, we live in a different era. With Dart Connect, we've got all the stats.
Michael, you require 152.
But it is to make the final averaging 104 plus for the day and not win it is, and to average 107 in the final. I mean, it's special.
Well, I know one guy who knows how he feels, and that's Chris Dobie, who averaged 110 in the final and lost.
He did. He only got 2 legs in that final, I think. Maybe even 1.
Laughable.
How about this? Oh, Ian White's not laughing now.
91. Michael,
He looked like he might steal away the leg with a 1-3-1 checkout. But Rosie. Okay.
Double 8.
36.
What did I say in the first leg? You can't afford to miss chances like that. And Ian's getting closer to Michael, and he's going to punish him. Didn't like that dart, so the experienced Diamond is taking a step back. 5s.
35.
Won't be happy with that entire visit.
Michael, he requires 16.
I think that first dart might have just thrown him a little bit.
One of the worst darts he's thrown in probably a fortnight. Double 2.
12.
More misses
You require
from Rosie. And he might be about to go behind in this one. Double 2 for the Diamond.
He's on the third
Double 2 is
leg.
pinned for the Diamond. And Ian White hits the front for the first time in this game. I should say, on the Saturday that we played in Barnsley, Ian White had played, he made the semi-finals. And in 6 games, his lowest average was 92 in his opening game. Then 97, 101, 106, 99.5, 94, and lost out to Davil Gurney, the eventual winner, who averaged more than a ton. He's played brilliantly for an entire weekend. In fact, back of a Fag Packet calculations, he's probably averaged about 102 for the whole weekend over 13 games of darts. We're talking Michael Van Gerwen territory, we're talking Phil Taylor territory, we're talking Gary Anderson or Gerwyn Price when he had that incredible weekend at the start of the year. We're talking some of the best weekends of darts ever produced on the Pro Tour, and Ian White at a semi and a final didn't win a title.
Ludicrous.
It is ludicrous, but I will
83.
lead the charge and have been for some time. This man can do things. I think this man can do something in a big tournament, and it might be the European Championship, where at the minute he is going there as the number 2 seed. He will be in the other half of the draw as Michael Van Gerwen.
And he has beaten Van Gerwen in finals, so
it this year.
60.
And we tend to forget that he's beaten Van Gerwen in a final on the Pro Tour. To nil.
6-0. Ian White has done stuff other people have not done in this game. Legends of the game have done. Now that is an absolutely legendary visit from Michael Rosenauer. And he might be about to break back and level this game. Now look, I've been eulogising about Ian White for the first 3 legs of this.
Oh, it's Anthony Lopez's double.
He's showing the full play, Ian White.
And I'm right to do so, and I will maintain that. But Michael Rosenauer, look, he had a great run in the last Euro Tour event. Made it to the final day. He's got a chance of making the European Championship. He would have to make the final to do it, but he could do it.
And he's got to go through Ian White and Michael Smith.
Yes.
59.
Michael Smith awaits the winner of this one, who didn't play his best game today, but he did enough to get through against Danny Noppert, who, to be fair to Danny, he really didn't show up today.
28.
Well, I wasn't commentating on that game with you, but I wanted to ask you, as a professional player, Michael Smith, in his interview afterwards, said there was 25 grand riding on that game. That's the prize money for this tournament. For
87.
Me. And 100 grand riding on that game for the European Championship, which is what at the minute he's qualified for. Might not get there, but at the moment he's there. He said that was a £125,000 game for me. Surely that's not a healthy way to think about playing a game of darts. I know, big stake, you've got to handle the pressure. And Michael Smith has been in a £500,000 game of darts. Win that game, win £500,000. That is, it's not even any permutations after that, going and winning lots of games afterwards. He's been there.
95.
He was in a £250,000 game just a few weeks ago. But putting that pressure on yourself, It's not healthy, is it?
I don't think it is. I think the old adage of one game at a time, and say it's
45.
a game for £1,000, which exactly it was against Danny Knott, but that's a bit healthier. You can't win a tournament on a Saturday, but you can lose it.
89.
Well, Rosie
You
manages to get himself down to
170.
something makeable. Only needs one treble for that 104. But the Diamond, who hit a 9-darter in his final against Mensur Suljovic at the weekend, will not produce the big fish. It was last year, actually, that Ian White and Michael Smith are out on a boat together looking at big fish. Although technically dolphins aren't fish, they're mammals. Double 16.
72.
Missed doubles have been the
Ian
story for
requires
Michael in this
74.
match. If he'd have hit his doubles crisply, he would have been in the lead.
Well,
He could well be on the 4-1 deficit in a minute.
34.
Not
Michael,
to be,
you
he's not
require
happy with his
32.
performance here, Ian White, because he'll feel he could have put this game to bed already.
More misses
16.
from Michael, making it so easy for Ian
You
White to
require
stretch that
40.
lead. I think Ian White probably thinks at the back of the hockey that Michael's going to miss and he's going to get more chances. That may be one of the reasons why
Ian White.
he isn't looking stressed whatsoever.
Sick flag in to throw
Well, one
first.
thing I want to say, Dan, is that
Game on.
not only is the European Tour taking place today, but we've got Challenge Tour on this weekend, which is finishing up, and there are big permutations in that. And today we had a guy from Ireland who I believe is only 20, by the name of
100.
Kieran Tian. He's gone to his first Challenge Tour, and he's won it.
Astonishing, isn't it? And look at the quality. Cameron
59.
Menzies has been playing some really good stuff. He's had a poor day today, and he might miss out on winning the Challenge Tour, which is a very valuable thing to do.
Yeah, gets you a little pass through Q School, gets you on the tour.
137.
Number one in the Pro Tour, or so the Order of Merit, gets you into the Worlds. And I think the story of today, even though Kieran Tierney won, Kieran Tierney, sorry,
96.
Barry Van Peer in the final, struggles with dartitis the last 3 years, makes the final, played properly today.
He's
Really well done to Barry.
Yeah, I would echo those sentiments completely. But we have got 2 more
59.
Challenge Tour events tomorrow, of course, and that will conclude the Challenge Tour for the year, right?
It will, and Andy Jenkins is still in the fray to
100.
be in the top 8 of the Order of Merit, and those guys will get a free pass to the UK Open for next season.
Jenks is back at the UK Open, potentially. Ian White is looking at the bullseye here, I would think,
130.
and pins it. Like, Ian White is obviously a player that you only have to go on social media. Your average darts
100,
fan who may only look at the big TV
75.
tournaments, they may not think as Ian White as a candidate for winning big TV titles, as he looks at 18 in tops here.
He's on
And
the
takes
sick
it out
flag.
for a
Ian
15
White.
darter,
To
and
Red
Ian
Michael
White
to
is
throw first.
looking solid. But dart players know. Everybody in that practice room knows. And Michael
140.
Rosenauer will know. And I'm not saying that it's the same as going facing Michael van Gerwen, but a guy who's won 2 of these titles, has made 4 consecutive finals, has won 12 PDC titles, and has been playing some of the best darts we have ever seen this year.
96.
And that is not hyperbole, that is fact. He will have a little bit of a fear factor for players like Rosie, who are here as
60.
an underdog, right?
Yeah, and the top guys don't so much fear Ian, but they respect him to the level that they're on watch. And throughout the course of the last 15 years on the tour, in the Pro Tour era,
100.
there have been players who have been majorly underrated. I'm talking about Mark Walsh.
Mark Walsh is the exact one I was thinking
I'm
about.
talking about Jamie Caven.
Yeah.
I'm talking
40.
about Brendan Dolan. I'm talking about Ian White being in that group right now, and he is the one who's got the most titles out of all those guys. And he has won on the European Tour, whereas the other 3 have not. So he's striding towards...
Jamie Caven did. Jamie Caven won in Austria.
97.
Lost in the final at Vincent van der
Oh,
Voort.
no, you're right. You saw it. I do beg your pardon. He lost in the final.
He should have won the
6-5.
title.
He could have won the title, but for an incredible 1-3-6 checkout from Vincent van der Voort.
100.
But you are right. You are right. And Jamie Caven, very much like Ian White, player who did a lot on the tour, but never got beyond the quarterfinals of a big TV event. And that, at the moment, it does not look like Jamie Caven is going to break that duck. But Ian White looks more likely to break that duck than he's ever done before. That's the difference.
I agree. Should have made the semi-finals of the UK Open, but was done by Gezi Price in some sort of knockout fashion.
160 checkout from Gezi Price. 112 is a lot more manageable. Can he find the treble 20? He can. Can he find the double 16? He can, and Ian White loses the first leg, but wins 6 on the bounce, and the number 2 seed will face his practice partner and roommate, Michael Smith, for a spot in the quarterfinals here.
Ian, congratulations. Losing the first leg, realise you're in a game, then rattle off 6 in a row. You happy with that, aren't you?
I'm happy to get through, yeah. I think I've been enjoying the sunshine too much, the last 3 days. So, I've got Michael now, so I've got to pull my finger out a bit.
What's it like playing your practice partner, one of your best mates, and a guy you are rooming with this weekend, knowing that if you beat him, there is a chance that you will knock him out of the European Championship, one of the biggest events in the world?
I don't care. At the end of the day, I've got to go out there and win the tournament. I'm trying to get in the top 10. I'm number 10 now. I want to get up in the top 8 and get as high as I can. So, my no mates up here, and I can just clarify, we're not rooming together. We're in the same apartment.
They're not sharing a bed. It's not Morecambe and Wise, but there may be similar antics going on. Just a quick one. How many PDC titles you got?
I've got 12. No,
how many
13. 12.
How many has Michael Smith got?
Oh, he's only got 9, has he, or 10? I'm still in front. Michael's well behind me.
We'll see if the gap closes this weekend. Big game tomorrow afternoon. Ian White, Michael Smith for a spot in the quarterfinals of the Gibraltar Darts Trophy.